Alright, let me make some noise. Come on, everybody.
The legend, the music sensation is with us. And just for you, the NUS students. So once again, students, and thank you so much for coming today for the ISA Student Outreach Program. And Mr. Rahman, I must say that the students are actually having the school term exam now. And they're here just to see you. So that's how much they're in love with you and with your music. So without further ado, let me just pass on the mic to Shabir. He is the CEO of Shabir Music Academy of Contemporary Music, our own homegrown talent, who will be moderating this session today. Shabir, over to you.
Thank you, Chitra. Thank you very much. Okay. Sir, thank you very much for gracing this occasion and spending your afternoon with us. We really appreciate it.
Aman, my pleasure.
Okay, so as all of you know, today's topic is fusion music. Very broad, very difficult to define. But even then, we're going to narrow it into your works and how you have fused elements in your songs. Students have got a lot of questions. I kind of warmed them up a little bit earlier. There's some interesting questions. But before that, I'll start off with the first question. First and foremost, what's in your playlist now?
Nothing.
Nothing, okay. So silence is pretty much your friend at this point.
I came from Los Angeles last week to Malaysia, and then I was having one of the Hindi movies. It was just so loud, visually great, and I didn't have headphones, and I was watching it, I could hear everything.
Yeah, I read that interview where, after 127 hours, where you told the interview that you prefer silence nowadays and you like to watch films in silence.
I think it's because I have to go through so many music stems and mix things and arrange and produce, so when you're away from music, it's good to be in silence.
Yeah, that's right. It can cause some ear fatigue, right? It's good to take a break.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So I've made it a very simple question. Now I'd like to take your questions. Aarti has done a pre-booking, so I'd like to welcome her. Give her a big round of applause. Show some love, yeah?
Hi. I have one question. In the recent years, we see technology becoming part and parcel of music, with the increase in popularity in electronic music such as dubstep, and acoustic instruments seeing electronic versions of themselves like the keyboard and the electronic veena. As such, do you feel that the traditional aspects of music is losing relevance in today's rapidly evolving music culture?
The traditional music?
Yeah, traditional music.
Is it losing its stand?
Yeah, taking the back seat as we see this progression.
No, I think some things are classic, and it has to come back to that. So when I started my career, when I did Roja, I had that in the bottom of my mind that I need to have good lyrics and good melody and warmth in music. Even though I was named as the computer guy, and also in my bottom of my heart, I knew that it might be a sensation. This is what I was creating, and one side, and in another side, I was thinking maybe people will never like it. So I was very careful in articulating whatever I did as a statement. I used acoustic instruments, I used classical ragas, and yet the production was what I would like in an international album. So it was a mix of all those things. So same way here, if you can't listen to EDM unless you're on drugs, I can't listen to it more than 10 minutes. I feel a fatigue. And when I listen to classical music or when I listen to other soft music, I could probably listen to it more number of hours and stuff. So
it's like also the comparison where, people watch films, But you know, theatre is having a resurgence. People still like to watch theatre. You get ebooks, you still want to read physical books. So I think the charm and beauty of organic and acoustic instruments will never be lost. Yeah. So thank you, Auntie. Good question.
One more thing, please. Will you take a selfie with me at the end of today?
We'll try to. So, all right. Thank you, Auntie. Okay. Before I go on to the next question, since you're mentioning Roja, you know, Chinna Chinna I say the song, right? It's got the charanam where you got this boom, 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 you know, the kind of thing. Yeah. So it's the rhythm section.
Reggae bass.
Right. The rhythm section is playing upbeat and it's playing like a reggae style, right? So which means your first album itself has got that kind of fusion, that element going on where you amalgamate like a reggae style rhythm. And who will ever think of writing a melody such as Chinna Chinna Ase on this bass line or vice versa? So was it like a conscious attempt? You wanted to invent a sound like that, or was it like an accident that was born out of experimentation?
No, I was not even conscious. All I wanted was to convince Maniratnam that he would not find me.
Big job, yeah.
So I had done almost 30 to 40 tunes, and he would pick up what would be extraordinary for his ears, because he has the musical connectivity for Tamil movies.
Right.
By then I'd stopped listening to music. I was in some other zone.
Right. Okay.
So
cool.
sometimes I trust the director's instinct. Sometimes it goes wrong. Most of the time it's right because he is just focusing on that movie. So he wants the best for that.
So the director does have a role to play in how the music's being
Now I
shaped.
think things have changed. I've started writing my own scripts. I'm exposed to many things abroad.
Wow.
I meet people in Hollywood, the pop world then, and then come back here.
Right.
So I can pick the best of both.
Cool. Okay. So, Melvina, you did an advance booking earlier, so please, it's your turn now. Yeah, let's give her a round of applause.
Hi, sir. Just two things, sir. Because you're explaining how classical music never goes away, right? So, how important is a background in classical music if you want to enter the industry in India? And secondly, sir, what do you say to critics who criticize imported musical forms and their adaptation into Indian melodic patterns?
Indian?
Melodic patterns or pure Indian classical music.
Tell me the question again. What was the first question?
You can only choose one answer to answer one question.
The first one.
The first one is because just now you mentioned that classical music actually never goes away, that regards for classical music. So how important is a background in classical music?
Yeah, I think not only for musicians, even for people. Those days every house used to have a Carnatic lesson or lesson classical. If we take Europe or India, anywhere, so they would appreciate, they have like Western classical music appreciation courses. And this would allow them to appreciate art, identify what classic musical piece they're hearing, and that would also influence their lives, like when they are in another profession, whether there's a doctor or engineer or anyone. And I think that's going down, and everybody's into eating now, which is not bad. But if you don't understand the rags, of Indian rags, we don't understand the Sahana, if you don't understand the Bhopalam, if you don't understand the Mohanam, if you don't understand the Bhairavi, you are losing something which is extraordinary. You're losing something which your country has, extraordinary wealth, and then you're starting to appreciate all the smaller, flashy ones, which is fine, but then I know that from the beginning when I know a person who identifies rags, and I know the way he smiles at a song which has been composed on classical music. So it's something fantastic which we need to be in touch with our roots, whether you're a musician or not.
And I think that's the reason why such songs become like evergreen hits. Every time you listen to it, it puts a smile on your face. Okay, I'll allow you to go for your second question, but make it quick, please.
Thank you, sir. So what do you have to say to critics who criticize imported musical forms into Indian classical music?
That's good. Let them do their jobs. We'll do our job.
Like I was telling you earlier, that, like how Ray Charles, when he combined, very long time ago, when he combined, worship music with jazz, how he was
I think what happens is, if you plan that, it's fake. if it happens at the height of ecstasy, when you're composing, then it becomes natural. Then people get that too. If I plan that I'm going to combine this to that metrically, it doesn't work out.
That's right, yeah, that's
It has to take a turn when I'm composing without my knowledge, subliminally should happen. And then
it should be organic process, huh?
Organic.
All right. Okay, thank you, Melvin, and thank you very much. Good answer there. Okay, now let's take a... Come on, guys, you all don't want to ask questions, is it? What's your problem? Only ladies asking questions, okay. I see a gentleman there. Yeah, there. Please.
Hi all of you. I'm Afzal Ahmed, and I just want to ask, fusion music is mostly associated with the West. So, do you have any plans in future to work with Hollywood?
Sorry?
In Hollywood?
Hollywood.
He's already working in Hollywood, brother.
The word fusion actually for me takes me back to Mahavishnu, L. Shankar, L. Subramaniam. The moment people say I'm going to do fusion, they're going to do the same thing what they've done. So it becomes too predictable, it becomes secondary. They've achieved the pinnacle of that. And so I never think the word fusion, it's never in my head. It's what comes naturally, and I'm doing a soundtrack on the movie is getting released on 9th May. It's called $1 Million Arm. Done some Punjabi songs, and it was fused with rap with Iggy Azalea, then Kendrick Lamar, and Wale, and Katie Tunstall. So it has all these artists, and every song has one artist. And they've interpreted some, and then I've interpreted some, so it becomes like something which I've not heard before. And the artist actually contributes, and it becomes two people's mind becoming one. And so I think the soundtrack is going to get released in a couple of weeks, so you can check it out too.
All the best for that, sir. All the best. I'm sure it'll rock, huh? Yeah. Thank you, brother. All right. Yeah, let's go for another question. Let's see.
One more lady there.
One more lady, yeah, lady, there you go. Cool.
Hi, sir. So I just wanted to ask, if we take Zaria, like the Coke Studio song, for example, there's a lot of Indian music and also Middle Eastern style of music. So what does fusion music actually do? What's your opinion? Does it try and propagate different styles of music, or does it dilute the local styles of music?
With me, I don't think as fusion music. I think as something which works, something which is charming, something which can hold, something which could engage people. For me, it's not, okay, I'm going to do some Konnakol here, some Rag Alap here, and make it like a cliche, so-called fusion. So I don't like when people send me demos, oh, I've done some fusion stuff, and then it sounds exactly what I would imagine fusion would sound like. So I think break the barriers of your mind, thinking that this is what fusion should be. There should be a Western beat, and there should be an alap on top of that, and there should be a Konnakol, which is so boring. Because it's been done amazingly well before, for the previous generation. And we should probably go further and contribute to that, extraordinary tradition and take it intellectually and artistically more further to the next level, rather than copying what they've done.
I think it becomes cliche, like fusion becomes cliche when you say that I want to mix this and then show the world I want to do this. I think it's more of your influences, your personality. It's going to be a very organic process, and that's when it really sounds sincere and natural.
It's like a speech. Anybody can talk. And very few people engage people. And some people is like, oh man, get out of the stage first. I don't want to listen to this boring. Music is also very similar to that. You play a melody, does it engage them? You can keep playing the fastest phrase, but then people might go, okay, I get it. Move on.
Cool.
I think even the song is like that.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah. Let's get someone from the rows at the back. Yeah, maybe that lady there at the back. Yeah, there you go.
Hi, sir. I wanted to ask you about some of your recent works in Bollywood, such as in Rockstar and Highway. So what have been your most important influences in creating songs like Fir Se Ho Chala or Katya Karu, and what's the element of fusion in those works?
For me, spoken to the director almost 5 years back, and that was supposed to be his second movie. At that point of time, we were not sure. He was not sure that he would be able to pull off that movie, and he was very honest. And then he did other movie. He did Jab We Met and Love Ajkal. And then he came back to me and said, "I'm ready for this movie, sir." So when we started, and he said the name is Rockstar, I was sure that I'm not going to do rock music for the full album. It has to be about the person who's evolving as a musician, as an artist, more than just move into the title of Rockstar. So we had very few rock songs in it, but there were Sufi Qawwali, there was other things, there were folk songs, and so that's why I think the movie was pretty engaging. And
one more thing. So have you, as a musician, ever felt that you have to, decide, to compromise in terms of making music so that it gets people engaged as to what you would like to produce otherwise?
no, I made a very important decision in my life, in, I think around 90s, when I was seeing the adulation composers were getting back in Tamil Nadu, and so I was creating alternate music personally, in my home. Nobody ever heard that. So I made a decision that I should step down and yet retain the musicality which I was believing that it should be, and that was the most important decision. And I was playing jazz, and then out of 100, 2 people appreciated. So that one step which I went towards what public wanted made me what I am now. So I didn't compromise on what I would. So I was doing what I was doing, but yet with that step connecting, it reached to more people. And I'm still trying to do the same.
Hope that answers the question. Okay, cool. Maybe someone from this side. Let's take some. Yeah, the gentleman there. Come on.
I wanted to ask, as although you started with Tamil music mostly for Tamil, and your first few works were mostly in Tamil films, then you moved to some Telugu, a lot of Hindi, and even now you sing in some other languages, sometimes in English.
Sometimes Punjabi.
Punjabi. I think somewhere I heard a recording of you singing in Bengali once. And
are you Bengali?
Yes.
So are you complaining now?
When you traverse across the styles of music, and when you move across different languages, which do you adapt to more naturally? Different styles of music or different languages?
After a point, it doesn't matter. I think you're confident, and I think it's melodically driven, and you somewhere internally you get a confidence with even the entourage around. So I always keep checking. Do you think it's good enough to go, or people throw stones at me? So even when I did the Bengali, when I kept asking people, and I said, no, it's very good. And that very good was, of course, subjective.
That's the one that keeps the quality going, I guess. People around who are helping out.
Yeah.
Hope that answers the question. Thank you. Yeah. Okay, the gentleman there, he looks very excited. So thank you. Please come.
உலகத்தின் அனைத்து அதீத சந்தோஷங்களையும் உங்களுடன் தான் பகிர்ந்து கொள்கிறோம். ஏஆர் ரஹ்மான் சார் அவர்களே, உங்கள் பாதம் தொட்டு வணங்க டிஸ்டன்ஸ் பத்தல. இன்னும் உங்களுக்கு ஏதாவது ஃபியூஷன் மியூசிக்கில் சாதிக்க மீதம் உள்ளதா? கொலவை சத்தத்தையும் வெஸ்டர்ன் பீட்ஸையும் இணைத்தவர்கள் நீங்கள். இன்னும் உங்களுக்கு ஏதாவது இணைக்க மீதம் உள்ளதா?
I'll do a quick translation first so that everyone understands what he's saying. Yeah? Okay, so basically he's saying, do you have ambitions and aims to bring, to fuse further, more elements and other things apart from what you have done so far? So in a crux, that's what it is.
Yes, but you know what? This is not about me. I have a classical music conservatory back in Chennai called KM Conservatory, and we are educating underprivileged kids, and we're having it. If you come there, you can see all the world-class piano players from villages, and people who can't walk. So the extraordinary things happening in the conservatory. I'm really proud of that. And my dream is to bring orchestral system back to our tumris, our kirtanas, and want to expand that even more. So people can enjoy not like a uniform unison melody, but with extraordinary harmony, without jarring your ears. And in movies you could feel it now and then coming, but you never hear it as a concert on stage. And with our own people playing that stuff. So that is my dream, and it will happen.
Educating underprivileged kids, I think that deserves another big round of applause.
Sorry? The reason for that is very selfish. It's not that I'm educating underprivileged.
What's the selfish reason?
Because they don't have any other choice than music. They won't come to Singapore to join this. They will stick out with music, and we need an orchestra who's dedicated. And so they are in bliss now. It's so amazing to see that,
In fact, we have such initiatives in Singapore too, and you see the passion in the kids' eyes. They really want it. There's no two ways to it. So I think it's very fulfilling, such initiatives. Now, let's take on another question. Now, we'll go for a lady, of course. This is very confusing. Can you please pick one?
Sorry?
Can you please pick one? I'm getting confused.
Okay, that lady.
Okay, that lady in green, huh?
Yeah.
Please come. You're lucky. Give her a round of applause. Mr. Rahman, okay, go for it.
Hello, sir. My name is Archana. We are diehard fans of you here. I just have a very simple question for you. I'm sure thousands of directors come to you, to your doorstep, for you to compose music for them. So how do you choose a movie? What do you look for in a movie to agree to compose music for it?
That's a very complicated question. See, what happens is after a while, there's so much of expectations from people. They are taking a lens on everything. How is he doing music? How is the director picturizing this? How is the producer spending money on AR's music? So they have special concern about it. Even the audience is having special concern. So when I do a movie, when I accept somebody who's got a great script and hoping that they're going to do well, sometimes the movie stops and it doesn't come out. It might be a very good script, very good director, but then so I have to pick up a team which would deliver everything, which has got a great script, which has got enough money to produce it, which takes care of picturization, which takes care of marketing. And so people are not let down by, oh, there's another AR movie coming in and I want to see it. And they go on and say, oh, this is not what I expected. That's been happening again and again and again. So I thought maybe not doing anything is better than doing something and bringing the morale down.
So this happened after a few experiences. There's a learning curve. Many experiences again.
Because I think when the music releases, because my whole team, all of us put so much energy in something to make it sound great. It comes out and then sometimes the director wants to do that, but then the producer might not have enough money to do that. So I pick up a team which can do everything, can pull off the whole thing. Sometimes a small movie like, the instance of Chakrakati, it could have been a hit, but then they come to see something else and they see a very simplistic movie, they get irritated.
Understand,
that's what
yeah.
happens.
Right. So I hope that answers your question. Yeah? Okay, thank you very much. Yeah. Okay, so I'll pick the next one. Let's go for a guy, the man in check shirt. Yeah, there you go. Please come down, give him a big round of applause. Okay, your question please.
Vanakkam sir, my name is Sindhu. As a fan, I feel your composition has gradually changed over time to being a little more westernized. So was this a conscious effort on your part to make Indian film music more internationally recognized? Would you contemplate going back to your 90s kind of music?
Give me an example. Give me an example.
Similar to what you had in films like Jodi or Kadalan or Roja. Like, last time like ஒரு பொய்யா ஒரு சொல் கண்ணே என்ன விலை இந்த மாதிரி பாட்டெல்லாம் கேட்கும்போது அந்த டியூன் கொஞ்சம் டிஃப்ரெண்டா இருக்கும். பாடல் மறுபடி ஏஆர் சார் பண்ண மாட்டாராங்கிற ஒரு ஏக்கம்.
I think now I is coming like that. I will be like that. Kavi Talavan was not there, and then Varna Kochare was there. Kochare had to have a hybrid. So Kochara's got. I'm so proud of that movie because I just finished. I just stand feel extraordinary. The way that nobody else could pull it off other than Rajinikanth.
Sir, one more thing. I'm bored now going to Vella, but can I also take a picture with you?
We'll try to accommodate the request. Thank you, brother. Thank you very much. Thank you. You know that that's a no, right? You know, right? Okay, but anyway. Yeah, okay. So let's take one more person for the question. Let's go for a lady now. Okay, the three of you. Okay, listen. Let's try to come back to fusion music, okay? Alright? If you got questions about fusion music, let's go for that.
Oh, that's the topic.
Huh? That's the topic actually. I'm still used to it. Okay, so yeah, what's the question?
You've composed so many tunes so far. So what is the one tune which is close to your heart? And could you sing 2, 3 lines?
No, there's no one tune favorite song. I keep moving on. If you want to hear me sing, come tomorrow for the concert.
Who's ready for the concert? Put your hands up. Alright. Okay, cool. So join them. Okay, join the group. Alright, next question. Okay, yeah, there you go. Go for it. Okay, next I'm going to pick someone from in front. Okay, so prepare your questions.
Okay, first, hi sir. First I have a small boast. 15 years ago in the 50 years of Indian independence show, I actually sang for you.
Oh,
I was in the group
you
of
grown up
students who sang.
When you were a kid, how old were you then?
I was around 15 or 16.
16, okay. So how old were you? 30?
I'm 30.
Oh.
He looks young for his age. What's the secret, man? Share it with me. Okay, sorry, go back to the question.
The question, I think you kind of touched upon many inspirations, but two things. One is for fusion music, apart from Mahavishnu and El Shankar, are there any other inspirations that you have? Second one is, how do you choose collaborators? Right now you mentioned a lot of people you're working with. Same like the direction thing. Do you have a particular aim for collaboration, or do you just want to try out new things? So inspirations and collaboration.
It's how people force me to. So in this particular case it was Disney and the director Craig Gillespie who felt that for this movie it would be nice to have these collaborators. And I don't have any choices. And people say, okay, fine. And they only find the exciting ones most of the time, so it's good.
So the collaborators are not always decided by you?
Not.
Okay, so the production is a part of
yeah.
you also. Okay, cool.
Sometimes, of course, I suggest when I work with MIA, both Danny and me felt that should be a very good collaborator.
Yeah. Okay. What about inspiration? Yeah,
Inspirations, yeah, Mahavishnu and anyone else.
What is it? Anyone else? Nusrat? For I think Nusrat and Peter Gabriel, I think for me, really like gurus. And Peter Gabriel actually would say he did so much for bringing things musically together and presenting it in such a style. Yeah.
Cool. Thank you.
I felt very bad that I won the Oscar and he lost on the same stage.
It happens. Life is like that, right? Okay, bro. Thank you very much. Thank you. You know, also talking about influences, like especially back in the 90s, all the electronic programming that you introduced, which was very new and was quite groundbreaking for Tamil cinema at that point. You also said, I think in one of the interviews, Vangelis is a huge inspiration for you. How much has Vangelis influenced your growing up years or your music making process?
I think he brought a very organic way of, almost like a very acoustic way of playing an instrument. Because an instrument is like a monster, you need to tame it, you need to get feel out of it, you need to make it sound acoustic, you need to make it sound less electronic by modulating or putting your heart into it, and very few people try this. Most of the people just use the factory patches and play something.
Right, yeah.
So he was one of, he designed his own system to play things. I was very lucky to spend around 8 hours with him in his house, and he was cooking a salad, and so he was going on playing for us. Paul Allen was lucky enough to go in Athens.
So I guess the electronic sounds behave in a very organic fashion. That's what.
Yeah, you can make anything sound beautiful.
Cool. Okay. So let's take another question. Right at the end, the man with the specs, and the other two pointing at him. Yes, I want him to speak something.
Hello, sir. My question is, how do you keep your approach to writing fresh all the time and not get, not fall into any sort of like formulas of writing? Like, how do you keep it new?
That's a good question.
Yeah.
I stay with enthusiastic people, and also there's a Sufi saying that if you want to move on in life, you have to drop your principles sometimes. And you want to refresh yourself, whatever you believe is your comfort zone, drop it, go to a place where it's just dangerously exciting. And you might fail, but you might also move on and becoming regenerate yourself. So,
very good statement. Thank you very much. Let's take another question. Yes. You didn't expect, right? Okay. Continue.
Hello, sir.
Hi.
I have one question. It is, some of your recent songs, it's like, as a listener, we need to repeatedly listen to the song to grasp the beauty of it. So, actually, how does that happen? Do the directors also feel the same way?
I think there's so much of music out there. So, unlike the 90s, and all of you speak about the 90s music, there was two styles. One was mine, and then the other. So now people have got into it. They've moved on. They're doing many stuff which is very new, and there's so many composers. There are very few composers in the 90s. Now each movie has got a composer introduced, which is a great thing. And survival of the fittest. Who's doing well gets another movie. Otherwise they get slammed and then they go. So you see, every movie in Tamil has one composer. Every movie in Hindi almost has a composer. And so in this clutter, to find something pure and something, this thing needs to stand out so much. So it's not an effort of only the music, it should be combined effort of a movie and the way it's envisioned, the picturization or what it is. So that is an extraordinary factor about which is true. It's happening now. So some of the songs are constructed in a way where it's free flowing, it's not edited, it's not mutilated. So even the directors love that because it's so original for them to hear. Like Anand Rai or Pirse Uchala is an example for that. There's no formula in it, it's just flows.
Hope that answers your question. Thank you. I want to take two more. I'm so sorry, we've got to take two more questions. So, questions about fusion music. We'll take that. Let's take. So why don't you just speak? Yeah, maybe a lady.
Great t-shirt.
Great t-shirt.
Yeah. Okay.
Great t-shirt.
Can I just ask it, okay?
Huh?
Can I just ask it?
No, please use the microphone, buddy. Because I got some hearing problems. A bit, yeah, impaired.
Hi. So I'm from Canada, and your music is really popular in the West. So I wanted to ask, from a production standpoint, what kind of music have you found translates better for a Western audience, and do you keep that in mind when you're producing the music?
Repeat it again, please. I can't hear.
Yeah, come closer to the microphone. Remember the middle finger rule. Please come closer to the microphone.
So I'm Canadian,
yes,
and your music is really popular in the West.
Okay, I got that.
So my question was, from a production perspective, do you keep that in mind when you're actually producing music?
Do I keep adding what?
We keep that in mind.
Do you keep that in mind? Okay. Like what might translate better in the West versus what might translate better in the East?
No, that's the terrifying thing I always have. You do something and what's really good for an audience here, people might hate that. So for one of the recent scores, I added a tundana. You know, like a, and they hated it. So it is a movie which I'm working now. And so for us, it's a great pleasing sound. But for them, so these kind of sensibilities, and if you add Nalap, and we love it, right? It's too Indian for them, so we need to mask it, filter it, and put under a bed of certain things. So it's there as a texture and not as a forefront. So these are the nuances which you need to adapt, I think, when you're working with the West. And it's like food. You know, we like spicy food back in India, but there it's too spicy there.
Yeah, the Indian is masala burgers.
But over time, when you sit with people and you hear music along with them, what I do now is actually I play all my stuff to the new team which comes in, the director, music editor. Okay, now tell me what all you like from the panel, you know, the whole lineup, and they'll say, oh, I love this. And what we love the most, they hate it. You don't like it? No, I don't like it because it's very okay. So I kind of analyze what's working there and what's not working there. Sometimes, you know, it goes beyond. Like Jai Ho, people loved it in the West. In India, they still feel that's not my best song.
Thank you very much. Thank you. All right, we'll pick a lady and we'll conclude this. Okay?
That lady?
Yeah. Come.
Hi.
Rahman.
I was just wondering, have there been any Chinese influences in your music, or will you collaborate with Chinese artists in the future, perhaps?
My father had a Chinese record, and that's, that's one of my earliest influences. And he had 3 records. One was the Beatles, one was a Chinese record, one was Switched On Bar, which is synthesized music. So I do have a kind of, from childhood I've been listening to some of the music, and I've done a movie called Warriors of Heaven.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I'd love to collaborate, definitely. Yeah.
But you do have
I'm a fan of Tandun also.
You have got a favorite Chinese composer, right?
Sorry?
You have got a favorite Chinese composer.
Yeah, Tandun is my favorite.
Tandun, yeah, that's right. Okay, so he likes Tandun. You like Tandun? Okay, cool. Thank you very much. Okay. So guys, as you know, we have come to the end of the session, and we will need to come. Oh, so sad, poor thing. Okay, but you know, really, we got to do this because you know he's really busy. He's got a gig tomorrow, and he's got a rest also. So, but you know, be thankful and be grateful that he's here with us. I think we should really appreciate it and cherish this moment. And give a round of applause for the man. Thank you very much for any last word for any words you want to tell the next generation who want to make music, who want to get into the music industry?
I don't know, I have learned from them.
Learn from them. Learning never stops.
Actually, yeah, learning, and each one...
Sing something.
Sing something.
Sing something.
Yeah, sing
Can you say something?
No, sign the contract, I should not sing anywhere else. That's the thing.
I think students, I think all of you have been wonderful participants. I think you have to respect this legend, this music sensation. He had an urgent and you rushed back, it's because it's you. And also, give it to him. And thanks to Shabir for moderating the session. Students, you have to wait for a while, okay, because the sessions haven't officially been over. So just give us a couple of time. Mr. Rahman, we would really like to thank you for making your trip here. It's a pleasure having you. And on behalf of the Institute of South Asian Studies, our senior assistant director would like to present a token of appreciation. Yeah. And one for Shabir for taking his time off to be with us as well. Yeah. And he made entry with Roja, and since then he hasn't stopped spreading the fragrance around of Roja. Ladies and gentlemen, the legend. Now because we have media interviews and things to be done, but really catch him live tomorrow at the Gardens of the Bay. With that,